All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to episode 4. Look, we getting this thing. We
Ooh,
getting
come
this
on.
thing.
Yes,
Episode
sir.
4 of the His and Hers podcast. Of course, you know me. I am John Tay Grace. And joining me, we have the illustrious.
Sherelle Lewis.
What's up, Cheryl? How you doing?
I am doing. That's what
You
I'm
are
doing.
doing? Are you doing? Are
I'm
you
doing.
doing?
I am doing.
Okay. Well, we gonna see. We
Oh,
gonna
we're gonna see
see. Well,
that.
we got a lot to talk about. Life is moving for both of us. As a matter of fact, I'm here in Dallas, Texas. I'm broadcasting live for
There you
the
go.
bottom of the map, the middle of the map. You know what I'm saying? As Pimp C says, the real South. You know what I'm saying? So I'm down
Shout
here.
out Uncle Chad.
Yeah, Uncle Chad, rest in peace, Saint Chad now,
Yeah.
Uh, but I'm at my mama's house and I'm loving it. It's good to be back. I spent a lot of years in Texas, my adult years. This is how I came up. I got my first apartment here, my first car here, my first long distance girlfriend here. So, I really got all my manhood kicked off here in Texas. So it's good to be back. I'll be here for a couple weeks. So you'll see me here. And also you, Sherelle, you are in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, broadcasting from the University of Alabama.
Roll
Man,
Tide, roll,
roll
baby.
tide, roll, huh? Uh-huh. How is everything going? You started a new job. It's been 1 week exactly, right?
1 week exactly. It's been beautiful. I'm the oldest person in my clinic
Really? Really?
by
Well,
like 9 years.
wow. Well, I guarantee you, you don't look it. I bet you when you tell them,
No,
I bet you
no,
when you
no.
tell them your age, they be like, "Oh, for real?"
I have to show my ID still. I still
See,
gotta show my
see, see.
ID.
So, I mean, age,
Good, good genes.
smage, whatever,
Good genes over here.
But good to hear. Good to hear everything is working for you. I'm very happy to hear that. Our topic tonight is not really a specific thing. We tend to leave this open ended because we like to allow these topics to happen organically, right?
Yeah.
And so we kind of just talk, right? And that tends to bring out whatever it is that's most important to you at that moment, you know? So, um, with that being said, what's going on? I mean, I ain't got shit. I don't have no woman. I'm single as a dollar bill right now, so it ain't really much for me to talk about. My big topic was dating in your 30s. That was the one that hit me right in the
Wrong.
heartbeat. That hit me right here just because of the non-action that I've been
Mm.
getting. And I felt like, man, I got all this stuff. I got my job, got my place, I got my car, I got everything together now, and I don't have nobody to share it with. So that was something that was weighing on me. Everything we talked about that came off the cuff, and that was a good discussion. I really enjoyed that one.
That was a good
But
one.
so I got nothing. So unless you got something, maybe we can just kind of freestyle some topics. But what's going on in your life? Is there anything that's happening or not happening, weighing on you, not weighing you down? What's up?
Well, since we do talk about dating in our 30s, I've been in my 30s for almost 7 years now.
That's right. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing
I've been
wrong
in my
with it.
30s for a little minute. And, you know, in this time, to be honest with you, as a 30-year-old, I've only had one boyfriend.
Really
Uh, yeah, one.
interesting. Okay.
Now, again, queen of a situationship, but I've had one boyfriend in my 30s.
I didn't mean that laugh came from somewhere
it,
down deep. I didn't.
it's funny. It's funny. But one thing that has really come to light lately that has been weighing on me, um, not just in my personal life, but things that I just see. Because
Hmm.
one thing about me is I'm gonna look, I'm gonna observe. That's just how I get down. I'm an athletic trainer. That's part of what
Wow.
We do. I'm going
Right.
to tell you what happened to you before you tell me because I was
Mm.
watching.
Mm.
So it's all about, and again, since we're in our 30s, it's honesty in dating.
Right. Right.
Honesty. And
That's the
I'm not
key.
just saying typical honesty, like,
Hmm.
what, like,
Like, do you
you
like
know,
this shirt
what
on
are
me?
you looking for?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like,
Does this make me
like,
look
what are
fat?
you
No,
looking
no.
for? No, 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 no.
We talking
I'm
about
talking about
be
straight up.
woo. Like,
Okay, so I've been, and I have some friends that have been in this situation.
okay.
I have had men that are fantastic men on paper.
Mm.
And I have to very much say on paper because we all know that stats can lie. Stats can lie, 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 lie. As an athletic trainer, I'll go here. What the what the heck is the point of your 40 in a football game? Oh, okay.
Right. You're never gonna
So
run a straight line in
no,
a football game
you're not. But yet and
ever.
still we still test people for their 40, right?
Right. Right.
Okay. So it's kind of like that, in my opinion. It's like,
By the way, I love the sports metaphor because that just as a guy, that's just see. I don't see why you having this problem. You get guys, you get sports. If you understand sports, you understand men. Like I don't see why you of
because
all
I do
people get.
understand them. It's, and
Oh,
this is not being cocky or anything.
oh,
Sometimes it makes it harder to play a person like me because you're not gonna sit
oh.
up here and tell me, "Oh, I'm watching." No, you ain't, because that game don't come on till 9 o'clock. What's up?
You know that makes too much sense. Actually, that makes perfect sense. That you would have more issues because let's just be honest. Everybody is everybody has got dirt under their fingernails. Let's just say that, right?
Yeah,
And so unless you're willing to get all of that stuff off, do away with all of your extra things, and come and deal with somebody straight up.
yeah,
Eventually, that stuff is going to show. Eventually, it's going to be, it's going to come out in one shape or form. See, my thing has always been this, and this is how I know this is true. My problems, my dirt, has never been having multiple things going on the side. My dirt has always been, I like to do stuff. I like to in my younger years. I used to like to, do a little stuff, things and stuff. Yeah, I used to do things
stuff.
and stuff, right? And I used to be like, oh, I got it under control. I got my, you know, I got a job. I got a degree. I got my life together, and so I could do my thing, and you know, but one thing I always noticed is that eventually it always started to affect my partner and I always wanted to fight it. I always used to say, "No, you're not doing it. You're not partaking in it with me.
Mm,
This don't have nothing to do with you. I'm
mm.
not I'm not pressuring you. I'm not trying to get you to do anything. So let me just you know." But it would start to impact people when you're asking them to borrow money, or uh, when you are breaking promises on things you said you was gonna do, and you can't get up the next day to do them. You know
Mhm.
what I'm saying? And so you're letting somebody down because you agree to do something. Things like that. It
Yeah.
does impact the people. Whatever you're doing, good or bad, it's
Mhm.
going to impact the people that you're dealing with, right?
Right.
So that was always my thing. And so you're right. When you understand a men's ways, you know, they can't hide. You can't hide. And like you're saying, this honesty thing, it's hard to be honest about what your dirt is and what your deep dark things are.
It is.
Nobody, everybody pretends that they're perfect, and nobody wants to shed a light on whatever it is that whatever you got under cover, under dark, under wraps. Nobody likes to. Ain't nobody going to forthcomingly just say it. But if you know what to look for, you can spot it before you even get told. And I think that's what you're talking about, right?
It is. It is. And that's what makes it a blessing and a curse to be to like, because, and again, I understand the typical dating cycle. I understand that a woman can say to a man, "You can tell me anything and it will be okay." And the man believes her and tells her, and she's going to use it against him either during an argument
It's a
or
trap. It's a
whatever.
trap.
It is a trap. But guess what? I'm one of those people that is not a trap. And you want to know why?
I see.
Because I'm also one of those people that I'm going to give you my dirt. I'm going to be like, okay, here's what Sherelle does. She asks too many questions. She always got to know what's going on.
Uh-huh.
She gets in her moods. You might talk to her every single day for 2 weeks, and then you might not hear from her for 3 days.
Right.
And she goes inside her head. She's going to overthink everything. She's going to analyze it. She's going to go through it with a fine tooth comb. There was a reason I was fantastic in all of my science classes.
Right.
There was a reason why I have a master's in science degree, two master's in science degrees. There is a reason. And I tell people that because even though I'm in therapy, that is something I still have to work on within a relationship because I understand that that can be a hindrance to a relationship,
Right. Absolutely.
especially with the men that I love my black men. But I also know that the black men in this country have come up in a situation where they are not encouraged to be open. They're not
Mm.
encouraged to share. And therefore, if I'm sitting up here begging you to share and you're not comfortable with that, that becomes a toxic trait of mine towards you.
Oh,
And that's the thing. People aren't honest about the fact that we all have the capability to be toxic to somebody.
right.
We all have toxic traits.
Absolutely.
And every time you say it, somebody, oh, I ain't toxic. Girl, I know for a fact you toxic just because you told me you wasn't.
Right. Denial is
And
your toxic trait. If nothing
right,
else, denial is your toxic trait.
right. And so when I say just tell me, I don't say just tell me I won't get mad. But what I will say is I'll respect the hell out of you more as a man
That's
if
right.
you say, hey, I don't want no kind of relationship with you. I need a friends with benefits. We ain't
Yeah.
even gotta be friends. I just need the benefits.
Yeah.
I will respect you as a man when you come to me and say that, and I'm like, yo, good for you. That's not me.
But you know what the problem is? It's not that. It's not them guys. That would actually be, if I'm hearing you correctly, that would actually be preferable if somebody were to say, yeah, I don't want to go there with you.
Oh
I
yeah,
would
absolutely.
rather just play around. I just want to have fun.
Yeah,
But what you get is you get the guy who be like, oh yeah, you know what? That's what I want too. I want to be in a relationship with you too, girl. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's go on and do that, cause I ain't got nothing to hide, and I want the same thing that you want. So yeah, we on the same page. We're here,
oh
right?
yeah,
And
oh
you get
yeah.
them kind.
And you know, those are the ones I get. But you know what? Those are the same ones, and I've said this before, and I will say it again. Them are the same ones that will do me dirty, but will come for any other dude who does me just as dirty.
Mm.
I got a phone call yesterday
Oh,
from one of those men's. And see, here's the thing, and this is another thing, and I've been called all kinds of things for this too. One thing about me is I know I'm anointed and I know I'm covered. Any man that does me like just nasty, I don't wish it, nothing like that. I always wish you well, but I will tell you, every single one of them has had something happen to them afterwards that they regret, and they always come back to me
mm.
and like, my bad, I shouldn't have did you dirty, but you still doing the same thing. So I'm
Mm.
talking about dudes that never had kids with nobody, did me dirty, come back and got the worst baby mama on the planet,
Oh,
or dudes clean record, good guy, clean record, come back, he done been arrested twice.
oh, oh, DUI and a domestic violence.
Like,
Yeah,
okay,
the, you got a
no
double
health
D.
problems, no health problems, fine, end up in a hospital.
Oh,
Like, I am not that person you mess with, but
you
what I'm
not from
saying,
Louisiana, is you? You don't be putting grits on people.
baby, I can't do no roots, but I will say, I don't do no roots.
Oh no,
No, no,
not
no,
the
no, no,
health
no. But
problems.
what I will say is because I am so honest and upfront,
Yeah, yeah,
like you cannot mess over people. And see,
that's right.
that's
That's
where we
right.
end up. And what's so funny to me, especially at this age, is why are we still playing games if we? We don't have time. Y'all act like dude, not dudes, people act like they ain't seen Snapped, Knives with Wives, or Wives with Knives, and all that stuff.
Right.
Because like people take their heart, because heartache is painful
It's
physically,
hard. It's hard.
and people take
And
that seriously.
and one thing I will say is we were just talking about this,
Yeah.
how the differences in age. When you're a kid and you break a bone, you be back playing the next day. But when you're 40 years old and you break a bone, you
Well,
be out with your foot up,
yeah,
like a done for 6 to 8 weeks. You know what I'm saying?
right.
So what I say that to say that you don't have the same pain threshold when you're in your adulthood as versus when you're a kid. When you're a kid, you like you test your pain. Like
Oh yeah.
you be like, damn, that hurts, but I kind of like it. Damn, that
Oh,
hurts, but I kind of like it. You know, so you kind of like you'll
birth of
do
a
stuff
kink
just
is what
like
it
when they
sounds
tell
like.
you when your parents say, hey, don't touch that stove. That stove is hot. I'm telling you, don't touch that stove. That stove is hot. Uh, 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 what I tell you. So when you're a
No,
kid,
absolutely,
when you're a
absolutely.
kid, you can take the pain. Yeah, it may have hot, it may have burnt you, it may have hot, but once you done cried and had your nap, you're back playing the same day. But when something hurts you, when you are an adult and you done been through so much, you can't take the same type of pain, and it goes the same thing. The same goes for a heartache, you know.
And
So
that's absolutely true. And I think that that is a problem we run into because, for me, I'm different. And I'm not saying that like, oh, I'm different from the rest of them. No, I'm freaking different, bro.
mhm,
Like,
mhm, mhm.
I'm not normal. I am not normal. What is normal? We won't even go there, but I'm not normal.
But
So
whatever it is, you're not that.
so I am the person, you see a lot of people that been hurt and they use that hurt and it changes the way they interact with the world.
Sure,
I'm that
sure.
person. I can have a person that I gave everything to spit on me, kick me, whatever, beat the snot out of me, put me in the hospital. But I bet you that won't cross over to the next person I deal with. I've
Okay.
never been that person
Mm,
because that person didn't put me in that
mm-hmm.
position. And it's not your fault that this person's a psycho.
Right, right.
Unfortunately, with most people, because a lot of people don't do the shadow work, people don't do the healing from their pain, they can't, they're not at that point.
Mm.
So then what happens is somebody messes with them after they done been messed over by so many people before, and that's the wrong person. They might not
Yeah,
even be
yeah,
that bad.
yeah. Yep, that
And
was one
then,
too many.
and that's what it is. You never know when it's that person's final straw.
That's right.
You never know.
So,
And
you're playing with fire
you are. And you
every
will get
time. You
burned.
know, you really are. You know,
Yeah.
back in the days, the only problems you used to be worried about is, you know, catching something or, maybe getting caught in bed or something like that when they significant other come home. You know, the typical just
Yeah.
stuff like that where if it goes left, that's the worst that could happen. You will deal with it if it happens. But nowadays, you got I will just say the odds, it's not worth it. What all of the
It's
stuff that
not.
could go left
Right.
nowadays, people feel that they have the justification. And I'll say this, and I don't believe in this, but I do feel like women nowadays feel like it's justifiable to do bodily harm to somebody if they cheat on you. Like if
They
they'll
do.
hear a story, you'll see the reaction. Like you can look in the comment section of, okay, you see a story about woman catches man cheating, woman kills man, and his whoever he was caught in bed with. And you look at the comments, right? And you'll see the women just being
Yeah.
like, well, he shouldn't have did that. He shouldn't have
Mhm.
cheated on her. He got
I
what he
understand,
deserved.
sis.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. He got what he deserved. You shouldn't have
But
did that,
that
right?
is such a problem.
Right.
That is
It's a
such a
problem,
problem.
and no
It's
one
such
should be. No one
mm.
should. I mean, that doesn't justify. It's bad, yes, but it doesn't justify doing harm to somebody. But that's how people think nowadays. They think as long
People
as
don't, like you said, nowadays people don't care about other people's feelings. And like that you brought that up just reminded me of something else that's been in the news this week.
mm,
Lori Harvey and Michael B. Jordan. Baby, when I say I am upset at all these women right now,
Ain't it been a weird mix of reactions about how that
it's
whole thing is?
hypocritical.
That hasn't gone the way I thought it was gonna go when the
It
news
is
broke.
hypocritical. Because let me tell you something. I personally have never been the biggest fan of Michael B. Jordan.
Okay.
I
Mm.
said from day one, he like white women. That's just what I said. That's what I said. Okay. Then he get with Lori Harvey, and I'm
Uh-huh.
like, okay, if she make you happy, she make you happy. But this is another thing in dating that we really have to pay attention to.
Mm.
That at our age, especially as women, we kind of get desperate and stop paying attention to.
Mm.
He ignored her recent track record.
Right.
That's what he did. Now, if it had turned out another way, cool. But what I'm saying is that was something that still should have been in the back of his mind. And not saying that she's a bad person, but
Right.
he is older than her.
Right. And you can see
And
what somebody's gonna do by seeing what they have done.
right, and that woman went through him. And she went through a son and a daddy. Like
She's the female Future. She was with Future. She was with Future.
she learned from the best.
You learn from the
But
best.
and see, the thing that I'm seeing is now, if this had been reversed, he would have been such a dog. He shouldn't do that to that little girl. These girls are like, well, she know what she want, and da 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 da. And I'm
Right,
like,
right. Let her be.
she did something. She knew. I'm sorry. I don't care how surprised you get by a proposal. You know your man's intentions.
Yep.
But when you had an inkling that he was getting to that point
He
and
was
you didn't want
wanted.
to get to
Yeah.
that point,
Yep.
you should have ended that. That is her playing with him, playing with his time. Now, Michael B. Jordan gonna come out with a white girlfriend next. And all these same black women are going to be mad.
Uh-huh.
And my thing is, you cannot sit up here and say, you can't sit up here and support what she did, like it's the right thing to do, but if something like that happened to you, it's a bad thing. Like you cannot be a hypocrite, and that's
you
probably
know, this comes to an issue that I'm seeing in our culture, in our communities, is that we have double standards, and
all
they
right.
always make it seem like the double standard always exists on male side, right? But I'll tell you a double standard that exists on the other side, right? So we're talking about interracial, right? Um, uh, I was just in the Facebook group Kinfolk Collective. Oh, why do I be in that group? Because it's so feminine centric, it's so female centric that if you ever have any type of opinion that's male supportive, you're
Mhm.
just gonna lose. Like even if you have a proper, even if you have a point. So
Those
this
are the
is the
people that call
point
me
though.
pick me's.
Huh?
Those people call me a pick me every time.
Right, right.
They call me a
So
pick me.
let me tell you what the issue was, and I basically got kicked out. I got run out the group on this. So the first post was a picture of Jamie Foxx on vacation in France somewhere with a white woman, right? And of
Mm.
course, you know what they did? They went in on him. Okay, went in on him up and down. Him and the white women, black brothers and white women. Of course, it went to that. Black men and white women. Y'all, all y'all do is give a white women, give a white woman, blah blah blah. Okay, I'll let that happen because you can't stop. You can't hold back the tide. Okay, so the very next day, I was scrolling my phone, trolling and scrolling like I do. That's all I do. Troll and scroll.
Don't scroll.
Troll and scroll. And I came across an announcement. Congratulations, Gabrielle Gabori Sidibe, on her new marriage. Gabori Sidibe, Precious,
Precious.
married the dustiest, crustiest white guy on earth that you could ever imagine. This white guy, she's her size. This white guy is like this thin. You know what I'm saying? And just he can't even reach the coochie. It like he don't even he needed the GPS instructions to her sweet spot. So he ain't tagging
Jesus.
that. So what
Jesus.
I did was I posted the pictures because it just looks wrong. She's holding him basically. Like it's just wrong. So I posted the pictures and I'm like thinking, yeah, hell yeah, look, we about to have, look, and I
Trolling.
guess congratulations on your marriage, Gabori Sidibe. Do you know
They came for you.
They
Came for you.
they protected her like nobody else. Well, black men go in on her, so if she found happiness, then I'm happy for her. Oh, you thought we was about to be on your side, huh? You thought you was about to eat
Let you do that.
all of this, and I was just like,
You
just
made your
yet,
point though. You made your
just
point because,
yesterday, y'all was
but
going
here's,
in on interracial relationships.
and that's always been my problem with women on those kinds of, because you know what? How much praise has Eve gotten? How much praise has
A
Serena
bunch,
Williams gotten?
a bunch,
Like
a
Eve's
bunch.
husband is white.
Yep, yep,
And then
right,
she had the nerve to sit up and
right.
say, we're raising our children not to see color. How many black women drug Eve? Not nary one. Now I
Mm.
ain't gonna lie, that first album got it play all the time. That's Eve.
Right.
This woman right here, I don't know who this woman is, but like nobody drug
Nobody.
Serena.
They let her live her
They
life.
drug Common for hurting her, but they
Right,
didn't drag her for marrying. And I mean,
right.
nothing against her husband. Her husband got money,
They
but
dragged Drake when she left Drake.
yeah,
They dragged
but
him.
nobody is dragging her. But like, I'm telling you, when Michael B. Jordan show up with a white woman, they are going to drag him.
You know it. You know
They're
it's
going to
coming.
drag him.
You know it's coming, and it's just and it's fine because he should be allowed to. Everybody should be allowed to do whatever makes them happy. But
Right.
what we accept, we're so subjective on what we select. That we accept this over here, but we don't select that over there, or we don't accept that over there. We don't subscribe to certain things. So it's like if you're gonna be one way, be that way. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
If you're gonna be against something, be
Be
against it all the
consistent.
way.
That's
You
all
know?
I've ever asked from anybody is consistency. And that's just in life. People always ask me, like, where's my stance, like politically, socially, all that stuff. I'm like, yo, you make whatever decision you gonna make, but it better be equal on both sides.
Mhm.
That's
Mhm.
it. Be consistent and I can respect it. And for me, it always comes back to what can I respect? And I can
Mm.
respect you being consistent. Like, I'll tell everybody, I love my black kings. I want to marry me a black king. I don't necessarily like it when I see interracial, but guess what? I've dated interracially.
All right. Right.
And you know, one of my best boyfriends was a white man.
Right. Sometimes you just gonna find people
You like
because
who you like.
that's just your shell.
Yeah.
And then after that, then it's about what type of person you are underneath that.
Right.
There's some things in life that you can't control. You can't control how you're born and what shell you're born into, but you can control what type of person you are underneath that shell. And if you just turn out to be a solid individual, then who cares? Or it shouldn't matter. If you're a good
It
person,
shouldn't.
you're just a good person.
And
You
that's
know.
what it is. And people, and that's what makes the dating thing so hard. Is
Mm.
because again, we if I go back to the lies, if I bring this right back around, how can I say that you're a good person if you're not being honest with me?
Right.
And how can you expect, and that's another thing, how do you expect me to be a good person, an honest person with you if you can't do the same with me? Because let me tell you something, Sherelle doesn't keep too many secrets. Like if she decides that she wants to be involved with somebody, there ain't too many secrets to keep. Because
Mm-hmm.
being involved with somebody requires a certain level of intimacy. Part
Mm-hmm.
of being intimate is being open and being willing to put yourself out there to get hurt.
Yeah.
So, when
We can't have it
if,
both
if
ways.
we're talking, if I'm still single until we just establish that we are together and nobody else is involved, I'm gonna be like, okay, I'm single. I'm going to live like a single woman.
Mm. Okay.
Now, if we're like, okay, let's see where this goes, and as things start getting uncomfortable for each and every one of us, that's where we can decide, you know, am I willing to accept this from this person, or am I
Right.
not willing to
Right.
accept this
Then you
from this
got a
person?
decision to make.
Right.
But at least
So
let me make the decision. We're adults. Let me make
that's
an
it.
informed decision. Don't 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 put me in a situation where I've gone along because I wasn't aware of
That part.
a certain reality. And
Yes.
then when I find out, I'm halfway down the road.
Yeah.
So I'm involved. I'm invested in this. Then I find out, you know.
Right. And that's what it boils down to. Cause like me, Look, like this is one of the things. Like my kids used to call me like I'm the goat, according to a lot of my athletes, because I'm
Wait,
like
you
I
the
gotta.
goat?
I'm the goat, baby.
You know,
Because Mama got a
I was just
man and
I
three
was just gonna
boyfriends and
say
a
that
side dude.
I don't want to. We This is a family friendly podcast, but when somebody calls you the goat, that typically comes with that means something. And I'll leave it up to the viewers to
I just
figure
told
out.
them,
It
Mama.
means
I
it
will
means
say straight
something.
up. I'm like, I got a man, two boyfriends, and a side dude. What's up? Like, come on.
That means that you the best in several areas. You can't just be the goat at one thing. When you're the goat, that means that put your tongue back in there. Put that back in. Put
No, I
that
wasn't
tongue
being
back.
nasty with it. I wasn't being nasty with it. I promise I wasn't.
But
Nah,
that's
but
what
seriously,
happened.
like, I get called the goat because not just because of what I do, but because of how I do it.
Hmm.
I'm like, I'm single. This is what it is. And
Yeah.
the reason why I do that, because some people like, they're like, oh my God, you say that in front of teenagers? Yeah, because I got teenagers that are 15 years old talking about they're ready to be a mama. 15 years old talking about some this the dude I'm gonna marry. Nah, baby. Like get
Right.
out there,
Right.
experience life, but be
Right.
honest about it.
Right.
Be
Don't
honest
hitch your
about it. 'Cause
wagon to this horse. You don't even know if this horse can even make it around the track one time.
shoot,
You know
can't
what I'm
even
saying?
walk. Can't
Yeah.
even walk. Gotta take it out back and shoot it. But like that's the thing though. Like just be honest about it.
Right.
Because if you're not honest about it, it's gonna always come back.
That's right.
Every time. And that's why I say people that mess over me and people like me, it always comes back to them without me doing a thing.
Mm.
Because let me tell you, I am that person that I am truly happy for you. If I've ever said I've loved you and it never worked out, I am truly happy for you as long as you're happy. An
Mm-hmm.
ex of mine just
Mm-hmm.
had a child. And I'm showing off that baby like it's mine. I'm like, this baby is cute. Like
Right.
I am
Right.
so happy for my ex because he has found his happiness.
Right. And
He
that's
has
just
found the person
that's
who's gonna
just
help
being a
him
good
grow.
person. That's following the laws of God. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just when you are a human being, when you're a good human being, and you're just happy for another human being, somebody
It
that you
is.
once had love for. Maybe
Yeah.
y'all's love didn't work out, but that doesn't mean that you wish ill on those people or
Never.
that you want the best for them, whether that's with you or not with you. So
It's that simple. But we are so selfish that we feel like we are like everybody wants to feel like they're the best anybody's gonna have.
right, right,
Baby, no, we're not. I'm sorry. Like, yes, have your confidence in yourself, but yes, he can go find somebody else. She can go find somebody else.
right.
Because I might be good in this area, but that's not what they're looking for anyway.
That might not be
Because
what you need.
a lot of people, and let's keep it real, we're gonna keep it a buck. I know this family friendly, so I'm gonna use family friendly. We gonna keep it a buck though. You can be a bomb in the bedroom. You can have toes
Right,
curling,
right.
but you can't read good. A person like me, I read all the time. Reading is fun for me.
Mm-hmm.
So if I can't be with somebody who can't read, I'm
Right,
sorry. And I'm
right.
not saying that to be ugly, but what I'm saying is I you can't be with a person just because of that. Because
Mm-hmm.
the way our creator made our bodies, you can get sexually satisfied without that person. I promise you
Show
you can.
can. Show can.
Like you can. I mean, I'm keeping it as honest as I can.
Right.
And people are too selfish, too self-centered to understand that you are hurting the person that you say you love because you're trying to keep them down because you think they're the best, that you're the best they're ever gonna have.
Yeah. On that note, I think we need to go and wrap it up. But this is an important topic, and this is something that I want to come back to, as we move on in our conversation in our podcast, because it's important and people need to get comfortable telling their truth, and you need to be able to give somebody the freedom to be open with you. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Because you can't just be like, I wish a motherfucker would cheat on me. You know what I'm saying? And it'd be like, so baby, I'm so glad you are you the one for me, and this and that. Then that person ain't gonna say nothing about what they doing. So, you know,
That's what
give
it
people
is.
the freedom to be who they are,
Yes.
and also be open and honest about who and what you are.
Yeah.
Do you have any closing words? Any final thoughts?
I think I went in. I think I
You
went
went
in enough.
in, girl. You went in. You went
I think
in.
I went in enough. I think everybody gets my point. Be honest with
Uh,
yourself and be honest
uh-huh.
with the next person, baby.
Uh-huh.
That's it.
That's right. That is right. Well, on that note, we thank each and everybody who's rocking with us. You know, we only getting better, you know, and thank you for joining us. Every Sunday, we release a podcast. Please like, share, subscribe. You know, hit us up on all of our social medias, you know, Facebook, Instagram. I'm on Twitter. I got like 6 followers, but I'm
I'm
there.
one of them.
Right, right. You know, please subscribe to the podcast.
Please.
Eventually, we're going to create a podcast channel, but for now, it's going up on my YouTube. I got 99 subscribers. I need that 100th subscriber, and I think when we post this one, I'm gonna get that
You gonna get
100th.
it. You gonna get it. You gonna get it. You gonna get it.
You know, but we gonna. This is gonna be. We gonna look back on this when I'm at 100,000 or 1,000,000 subscribers, and we're gonna be like, man, I remember when you was stuck at 99. You know, shit like
It'll be
that.
like
So,
that.
hey,
It'll
I'm
be like
humble.
that.
I'm happy with what's going on.
Amen.
But in any case, have a good night.
Good
Thank
night,
you,
y'all.
thank you, Sherelle, and
Mm.
we love each and every one of you. God bless.